All right, hello everyone. I think I need to set up my face here. Yeah, here I am. Hello guys, how are you today? Sorry for taking a bit late to start the stream, having some technical issues. All right, so today we're gonna keep on working on the sculpting of this guy. Quickly, this is a part of a series where I'm working on scenes that you can see if you go around my city. Everything is on my Patreon link below. I work, the whole purpose of my Patreon is discussing and exploring our creative processes. So it's a channel to encourage you to follow your curiosity, follow your creativity, and try to live creatively. There's a hair in my, yeah, that's my dog's hair. That's fine. All right. So, I did some stuff off stream on Friday. So I did the cap. I like beefed him up just like I was saying in the first stream. The playlist is below if you wanna go watch it. I go through a little bit of the basics of sculpting as well. So right now I'm just the UI needs to be adjusted. I just wanna make sure that everything is just on big screen so you guys can see more. Press T to see the toolbar, Control Tab, and sculpt mode to go to sculpt mode. I think it's lagging a bit because I have line art in here. I'm gonna delete it. So I did add a bit of grease pencil stuff just to test it out. The thing is with grease pencil and a lot of objects, it's kinda laggy. Even if it's hidden, it's still calculated for some reason. I'm not sure why. Probably it's just my PC. I don't know. So I'm just gonna just making sure that the stream is going well. All right, so just gonna start now. So the thing that we want to start with, I'm gonna turn on the cursor. So the cursor is here. Shift right click, you can move the cursor wherever you want. The orientation, you can change it to local if you don't want to rotate it to the world. So you can see here it's changing its rotation according to the local orientation of the face. This is still global. You can set it to local, and yeah, let me check. So let's say let's select it to be binormal, and you can see here it's rotating binormal. Why am I telling you this? No clue right now, but this is a different approach. The rotation is not really matter. Doesn't really matter. You can keep it global if you want. But I've been doing, like, when I want to create something new all of the time, what I'm doing is pressing like one of the vertices, Shift S, and cursor to select it, right? Then I go out, Shift A, then I go create whatever I want, like an icosphere or something. But this is a different and a faster way where you can just Shift right click and position it wherever you want. All right, so the rotation should be global as well. I'm not sure why it isn't. I think it remembers the last. Yeah, so it should be global somehow. Anyways, it's rotating up. You can see here the rotation in the view toolbar. Anyway, let's not waste so much time on here. Let's just Shift A and let's do mesh. I want to start with the ears if you haven't noticed. So I'm gonna mesh UV sphere. Then I'm gonna scale it. No. So UV sphere, this is the rings, not the radius. So let's go down by the radius. And we can rotate it. Let me press Ctrl tilde so I can bring back these things, these axes. So now I can know how do I want to rotate it. I want to rotate it on the X. So the X is the axis that goes in the depths. You can see it's going inside. So when you rotate something around the X, you're kind of rotating it like this. So I'm gonna rotate it by 90 degrees. So rotate on the X by 90. It did not rotate. It's not rotating actually for some reason. Rotate. What's happening? What is happening? So I'm selecting this, rotating it, and nothing is happening. Not sure why. Let's try again. Shift. Okay, let's rotate it from here. I'm not sure what's happening actually. Alright, I'm gonna go to sculpt mode. I'm gonna just shape it as a normal ear for now. I'm gonna get my pen because it's easier to work with, and I'm having some shoulder pains. So how is the ear? Okay, let's first focus on the head. Oh, I don't know, my keyboard is not working. So Control Tab in sculpt mode. So the ear is from, if you look at my ear, it's from the bottom of the nose till the top of the eyebrows. So it should be something like this. And on the side, it's probably like a, I don't know, it's like an eye width, probably. Yeah, so you can just measure things around, or you can just, this is a quick sketch, so it doesn't really matter. So for me, it's here till here. Okay. Sometimes I look at myself, and since I have a camera in front of me with a screen, it's probably making it easier to look. So let's just shape the ear. The ear is like, sometimes I forget to draw the ears when I'm doing faces, but they are very, very important for the overall look of whatever the face you're doing. Like without the ears, it looks super weird. It looks like an alien. So I'm just trying to, if you want, juice as much as I can from the basic shape and the grab brush. But if you press V, you select the draw brush, and the draw brush is like a push and pull brush. So if you just draw normally, it's kind of like you're pushing, and if you press Alt, it's like you're like pushing inside, so pushing inwards. I think it's a bit weak, so Shift F, we can increase the strength of the brush, and you can see now it's behaving much better. It's not Alt, it's actually Control for you to push inwards. The Alt is for ZBrush. Anyways, all right, so here we have a weird geometry topology, which is, it's not gonna work however we push it. You just have one point and everything is concentrated around it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press R for resolution, and we're gonna make it smaller. And this is technically the size of the faces that we'll end up with after automatic remeshing. So this is R, and then if you press Ctrl R, you remesh it. It's probably small, so let's go for something, it's big, let's go for something smaller. It's still big. R, Ctrl R, it's fine for now. Let's bring back the, I'm gonna select the draw sharp because it's similar to draw, but it creates, like you can see the shape of the brush. You can see it here. It looks like a peak. I don't know if I can, yeah, I cannot draw to show you, but I think you guys got the idea. And I'm gonna just keep shaping the shape of the ear. That's it. It doesn't have to look perfect now. It just have to look good from different point of views. So like different perspectives. All right, I'm gonna give it the same material as the face by selecting the ear, then the face, then Ctrl L. And I'm not sure why Blender is behaving today. So just by linking material, now you can see you have this material which is called man, and it has 19 users, so 19 objects where this material is assigned to. It has like a subsurface which looks nice, especially on ears. The subsurface is the way that lights diffuse on like thin skin or like body parts. And this is where the light, if you have like a rim light from the back, you can see like you'll have a red color bleeding. So this is looking fine for now. I'm gonna pick a mirror and I'm gonna mirror it on the Y using this this object as my center point. Of course, we can shade auto smooth it just for it to look a bit better. And of course, we can add a lot more details to it. But for the time being, since we're still working on a very roughed out model, and I'm not sure I'm gonna add much more details to it. I wanna keep it a bit stylized, but I'm just shaping it to look different. So I probably want just to bring out this inner part of the ear. So I'm not sure if we use draw sharp or we use crease. I'm gonna keep it on draw sharp for now. It's a bit big. It's not actually, you can see that the area affected is big, and that's because we don't have enough resolution, so we can just keep on grabbing stuff for now. I don't want to increase the resolution by a lot at this face. This is it. That's what I'm trying to say. So I want to just keep on doing this using the move tool technically, which is the grab. And then you have like this part of the ear that usually goes inside and a bit to the outside. I've been saying this in all of my streams. It's technically an illusion of details. So we're just creating an idea that there are details, and like our minds or the viewer's minds can usually fill in the rest, especially when it's something far away and something that we are very used to, just like an ear. This is perfect for now. This is a bit too much to the outside. Just let's grab it in. Then here I created like kind of the socket for the eyes, so where the eyes should come. The topology is just the remesh topology, so it doesn't look good. Of course, we're gonna remesh more times. We're gonna add a bit more details, but for the time being, I just wanna shift right click, or probably here. The rotation is fine, the orientation is fine. I'm gonna shift A, and for this we would need a sphere as well. I'm just thinking if I want to do a sphere or want to do a cube, and okay, let's do a cube. So this is the thing, when you do a sphere, it's called UV sphere, you always have this pinching. So if you rotate this on the Y by 90 degrees and scale it down, I don't know why I cannot do any of these stuff. Why is my transforms locked? Save, open recent, let's open it again. Let's make a new file. Don't save. I'm gonna open it again. So my transforms for some reason are locked, and the whole thing is not working well. So let's debug this on stream. So in this file, we're working just fine. Here, we can't rotate or move anything. So what is happening? Rotating on global, medium points. I can rotate stuff from here, but I cannot rotate them with the shortcuts. Why this is happening right now? So Blender transform shortcuts not working. And the answer is you have to uncheck the location option in the tool settings. So if we go here to the options, so if you have the location set, only transform object's location without affecting rotation and scaling. So the G should work. Okay. So here the options will change what are you affecting. So now we're just affecting the pivot point. So we're moving the pivot point. Okay, so we learned something new today. Here we're just affecting the parents. So if I pick like this has a parent, so probably moving just the parent. So let me move the origin. Nope. Okay. All right. So it's moving the parents without the children's actually. So now if I remove it, yeah, it's removing the parents. Anyway, this is working fine. Let's go back to the eye. So I was saying, let's go back to OBS. So this is solved. So if you ever had like you cannot rotate stuff, that's because the location and transform here is locked. Just be careful. So now you can rotate it as much as you want. All right. So what I was saying is, if I want to create an eye with this, it's usually all ending in one point, which is kind of bad if you want to like in terms of topology. But I think for an eye, it's fine. Anyways, the other option is, so let's delete this for now, is create a cube, scale it to something like 10 centimeters, probably less, something like this. I just want to see the difference between topologies. Then we can go to tab, right click, subdivide, and we can subdivide by some amount, like 5 times. Then we can go Alt Shift S and just drag the mouse. And now we have a sphere. But this sphere has a much better topology than the other one. Is it a perfect sphere? It is. It is low poly though, but that's fine. If you press Ctrl 1, you can subdivide it. And now if you apply the subdivision, then you can pick again, Alt Shift S, just to make it a perfect sphere again. So this is 2 sphere. It's a command, probably in the vertices, somewhere here, I'm not sure, or in the mesh. You can just say to sphere. Or you can usually do F3 and look for to sphere, you know. Anyways, I think I'm gonna stick with this topology. It's much better than the one we had before with the UV sphere. Then we can rotate it a bit, move it, position it, sculpt around it, just to make sure that everything is properly placed. I'm just gonna place it properly. It is a bit big, I guess. So this is for the eyelids and this and like the eye inside. So it should start as this link materials. So it should start at the same color as the skin. We usually keep it as a perfect sphere, at least at the start. I'm gonna just keep sculpting around it before I'm gonna like cut it and split it in half so we can have another one inside of it. Just wanna make sure. And here the topology is not perfect because you can see usually around the eye it's circular topology. So it's much better to control. Just want to make sure that we have the proper topology, the proper shapes first before going into topology. All right, I think what we can do now. He looks scary enough. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna duplicate this, then we're gonna hide the duplicate. We're gonna look for the center here, This is the center. And we're gonna isolate this for a second. Go to Alt Z, press C. Then we're gonna pick all of these faces here. And we're gonna press P and separate them. Now we can rotate this up and this down. Then we can press Alt H to unhide the eyes inside. Let's change the material to something white. First, let's scale it down a bit. Let's join these back again. Ctrl J. Let's check the modifiers. We only have one modifier. Now we can add a solidify to this to give it a bit of depth. Okay, now what we need to do, he's already looking fine. Then we can do here eyes, change the colors from white to something not so white. Their eyes are not that white. Shade auto smooth, just to make sure. Okay, back. I'm gonna turn on the wireframe. I'm gonna press R, make it smaller again. It's too much. Make it a bit bigger. We lost a lot of information. Just making sure that it's not, that we don't end up with a lot of so this is at 0.001. Shift R. Okay. So it was at 0.001. And now we need to make it smaller, maybe 0.008. I'm gonna remesh. Nope. Maybe more. So we're losing some information here, but that's not the end of the world actually. So I'm gonna just move on with the draw brush. I'm just gonna bring things back again a bit. It's just around the mouth, things that we lost actually, and it's looking kind of weird now. You know what, let me undo. So instead of doing remesh, I have the quad remesh plugin. I'm gonna try to quad remesh it with a symmetry on the Y. The quad remesh is the same thing that ZBrush had. It's a really good plugin for remeshing stuff quickly. You can see this is much better. Still need more, probably 3,000 quad counts. Yep, that's looking much better. Okay, now let's recreate the face a bit. He's not a happy guy. So this is looking perfect, fine. All right, let's keep sculpting around the eyes for now. So the eyelids, they are spherical shaped, but they shouldn't look like this, right? That's definitely weird. So still need to push things a bit more outside. All right, let's go back to object mode. Let's pick the things that we want to see only. Let's go back to sculpt mode with the G brush, make it a bit bigger, and let's reshape the face. So right now the face is a bit going like this inside. I'm just trying to reposition stuff for it to look more natural, more normal. It was wrong, anatomically wrong, that's it, I guess. At least from what I know. Ooh, he's looking good. Okay, just shaping things around. The nose is perfect. I like this big nose actually. So we're gonna keep moving vertices without adding details as much as we can. We just need to capture the basic forms without something looking completely weird. So this cannot be going inwards because this is where you have your teeth. Unless you have broken all your teeth, it's different. He has big mouth. Let's make it a bit smaller. I don't want him to be smiling. His jaw, he has like a big jaw. It's not natural. That's fine. Let's keep pushing things around. And so the point here is to sketch a face, not to create a proper 3D face. Like, we don't have references that we're following. We're trying to figure the design on the go. Based on experience and like the overall look that I have in my mind. There's nothing concrete here. All right, it's looking better now. Just make sure he has a lower lip. So I'm just using the grab brush. So for everything that we used so far, we just used the draw sharp. We tried to use it, it didn't work, and the grab brush. You don't need to know a lot of stuff for you to sculpt. I'm trying the blob because it can sometimes inflate better than the inflate. Of course, we don't want to keep him like this, so it creates some volume, but it's also not the volume that we need in here. So I'm gonna smoothen this a bit with the shift. The shift is the shortcut for the smooth brush. So you so if you want to change the strength of the shift, all you need to do is press S or go to the smooth brush, reduce the strength here, and that will affect the smoothness even when you're in different brushes. So let's press, and it's looking good for a sketch. I'm gonna save just to make sure, because sometimes it just crashes, especially in these scenes where you have lots of stuff happening. So I'm not sculpting him in a separate scene, I'm sculpting him in the same scene that we have everything else going on. Alright, so usually the eyelids are not separate pieces, the ears are not separate pieces, but for the time being, I'm just keeping them like this for easier way to changes, or easy to change things in this phase, right? Of course, scene light, scene world, it's different. Oh, that looks so. Sometimes like these all different buttons that we have, different preview modes, they're kind of cool because this is a matte cup. You can see your model in Blender with a lot of different variety without having like to change materials and change anything. It's kind of cool because like, you can get to see it from different perspectives, different colors, different lights, different like this is like a skin matte cup. There is this one that's the ZBrush imitation, but I don't like this one because the reflection on it are usually too much. So I'd either go for a white or I would keep it on the material. But this one, it has lost something because we're using this scene light, scene world, and the scene world, I think, is this blue material and it's affecting things. So if you increase the strength here, you can increase the light, and I want a bit more light because I couldn't see well in these corners here. All right. Again, let's work a bit on the nostril. I'm a bit worried of going too much on details now, especially for the face, because we still have the ears disconnected, we still have the eyes disconnected, and giving them too much attention now, you can probably gonna lose it whenever you join these back, because this is not a good topology at all, right? And if I join this topology with this one, I'd have to remesh, and then we will lose all of this pushing, I guess, or at least we'll keep some of it, but we'll lose, like, if you are like expected to keep this working properly, I think it's not gonna work if you wanna have the same amount of polygons. And it's fairly good in terms of poly count right now, so we don't wanna mess this up. Here for the eyes, there is usually like this one point where everything pinches at, so it's usually good to find it in your forms. It's usually a good idea. All right. Fine for now. Shade auto smooth again. Eyes are looking good. I'm gonna move the cursor somewhere far away just because it's a bit distracting. The eyes are still too wide. Let's go for something different. And the thing is with these eyes, because we removed the eyes that they have like this one pinch, is that now we have lost the capability of creating the pupils. There are different ways to recreate them. It's not that big of a deal, but you cannot just select them on this anymore. You need to add them separately, and that's fine. But before adding them, I'm just gonna be jumping around a bit, just to make sure that I have my proportions working. This can be this can be moved G without the Y, I guess, yeah. And it can be scaled a bit like this. Yeah, that's good. Sculpt, smooth things a bit, drag things a bit. Move these around. Like if it's different between person and person, but sometimes you can just touch yourself to see if this is how it looks, or like you can have a mirror or have like a reference of yourself if you don't want to like keep jumping between references, just to see if it's not completely wrong. It doesn't have to be 100% looking like whatever you have on your face, but you can get an idea and from your face when you're working on this stuff. So just pushing things around to get to the forms that I wanna create. I guess this is fine for now. Yeah, that's looking good actually. If we go to render, Alt A to deselect everything. T to hide the toolbar. He's looking as creepy as I want him to look, actually, so I'm happy with this. Next, let's create the eye pupils, and probably let's add a bit more thickness to this here. Not that much. Let's jump back to the material preview just so we can see what we're doing. So I'm pressing shift just to make sure. So it's minus 0.001. That's too little. Let's do minus 0.02. Yep. Let's go back to sculpt mode. On this one, sculpt mode, and let's again. So we don't have geometry anymore here. So I want to have like some edges here, so I can create this this ending point I was talking about for the eye. But we don't have enough geometry for it, so I'm gonna try to use whatever I have right now, and probably we can add some more things. What happens if we just go to edit mode and try to loop here? We can't. You can see. So this quad remesh plugin is good for like quick is good for quick editing, but hey Destiny, no, it's just me. Sometimes we have friends here, but it's just me, and I'm talking to myself. Thank you for joining anyways. I was saying that the quad remesher plugin is good for quick remesh, but it's not a good alternative for retopologizing. You always have to retopologize by ourselves. Why are you making videos if no one is watching live? Sometimes I have people watching live, and sometimes people watch them later, so I have to keep on explaining for the people that's gonna watch later. Some videos like get to like 200, 300 views after the stream. I really don't like to make videos and edit them and publish them. For me, live streaming is an easier alternative from scripted videos. Thank you so much. The playlist is in the description below if you want to see how it was made from scratch. So I'm gonna remesh the ears the same way that we remeshed the face. We're gonna use the quad remesh. Thank you so much. Is this your first time watching some of my videos? Is this the first time that you drop on any of my streams? All right. Let's keep setting this up. The topology is not perfect. I'm just cleaning things around. Also, the good things about streaming is that we have this opportunity for someone random to drop by and just have like a nice discussion or like a good feedback. You can't have that with regular videos. So let's save. I'm gonna try to join the ears to the face. Let's do that. Let's Control J. And okay. Actually, the details are not in this guide. They're usually in the previous streams where we did. Let me hide this. Where we did this building, the tires, the wireframes here. Then we did the generators, and we did this. I think we did this series for For the moped, yeah. Now for the character, I'm trying to keep it a bit stylized, but we're gonna add probably some facial hair and some hair later using some different techniques. The thing is, I'm trying to figure things out live. Don't usually. I've been working with 3D for like maybe 12 years, but not with Blender. So sometimes I don't know stuff, so it's a bit clumsy, and you can see that English is not my first language as well, so I don't know how to express myself most of the time. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, just trying to shape it. All right, so for the ears, we tried to join them before with the face, but the mirror modifier wasn't applied, so we have to apply it first, then pick first the ears, then the face, because I want to keep the same origin of the face, then Control J. And now we have this, but the issue here now, if you go to X-ray, the ears are going inside of the model. We can keep them. We can keep it like this for the purposes of our project. But since I'm gonna give this, I'm gonna put this on my Patreon. I want to clean it up a bit. So trying to make simple model, which is a donut, but I can't every time crash. So, do you know the specifications of your PC, of your computer? And the same thing, the other thing is, are you is it crashing just by adding a simple donut, or is it crashing when you do more details? Quad remesh, I'm gonna remesh it with the ears now. And we lost a lot of details because we remeshed it with the ears. So I think we need to add like maybe 5,000 polygons for the remesh algorithm. We still lost. Okay, we're still losing details. So, and it's not fixing. We're losing details and we're not fixing. We need to undo. It's not fixing the way that mesh is penetrating the model. Oh, it's a bug. Probably try to install a different Blender then. I think the 4.2 is the stable one, the long-term stable version now. The cream. I'm not sure if it's sometimes because like you're adding a lot of polygons, or like using some. How are you adding the cream? Is it a simulation? Is it just sculpting, modeling? Shift R. All right, so what's happening here is that the ear is penetrating the face, and I want to try to remesh the whole thing using the remesh, the built-in remesh of the sculpting. Then I'm gonna quad remesh again. So this is what I'm not gonna try to do. First, I'm gonna keep it in material preview. This happens when I'm making it scream and I'm working with. I think 3.3 is a stable version. I'm not sure if it. I think it's an LTS version. Anything that has an LTS, it means long-term support. So it's usually not bug-free. Nothing is bug-free with Blender, but usually well-maintained. It could be your poly count. You can go to the overlays and turn on statistics. And after you add the cream, just check how many vertices and edges you are creating. Also, I'm not sure if it's you can see it here on my screen. Let me try to move this a bit like this. Also, there is usually, I'm not sure if it's by default on. Here you usually have the memory here. You usually have Down here, you usually have the memory you still have for your from your computer. And if it's, I think if you go to edit preferences, it's somewhere, I think, in the system. I'm not really sure where. But yeah, here. You can probably in the interface. It's somewhere. I'm not sure where. You can Google it. You can see how much memory you still have for Blender. It's okay. We build our audience slowly. It's like 2 weeks ago, I had like maybe 50 subscribers. Today we have around 160 or something. The thing with social media is that you have to build small. Thank you so much for subscribing. And thank you so much for stopping by. All right, so for this one. All right, so we have the ears and the face joined now. What I want to do is go back to sculpt mode, go to press shift, press sculpt mode, press R. Make sure we have lots of resolution, press shift R. Make it smaller, shift R. I just want to keep the resolution here. We have some banding, let's make it a bit bigger. So we need to find that spot where we don't lose details. All right, I think this is fine. Then let's go to quad remesh and remesh it and just see what happens. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. We need probably like 5,000 polygons here. It's still not a lot, maybe 7,000. And reduce the adaptive size. It's a bit better. Yeah, it is better. So I'm gonna go for probably 9,000 and reduce the adaptive size. I'm gonna remesh now. Hey Amraj, how are you, man? All right. So we have a better topology now, but the model is much, it's denser. And it's not the best topology actually, but I think we can fix it now. Are you making a human face or something? It is a human face, it is stylized a human face. It's not a realistic a human face. Yep. You're right. It is a human face. But I'm not looking for realism. That's it. Now we have a lot of topology to work with, a lot of polygons, but in sculpting, that's fine. You can still manage it. With editing, it's a bit hard. I'm gonna try to inflate the ear a bit here by pressing I. So let's check. It still feels like, yeah, we have some weird faces in here, but that's fine. I think that we have an overlap in the ears here. So the noise is coming from the optics denoiser. I have it set to 3 samples as a start, but the thing is, if you don't have samples here, everything becomes very mushy. But it's looking good. It's looking good. Okay, I'm gonna do the pupils, and then I think that's it for today. So we cannot use. We probably can. Let's try this approach. So we go to tab, press 1, press this vertex, shift S, and then we can set cursor to selected. And then we can press shift A and we can have a UV sphere in here. Make it much smaller. I didn't join the eyes yet because the way I'm remeshing stuff, I'm remeshing them with the automatic remeshers of the sculpting mode. And it's so because we have this kind of opening in here for the eye. Here I'm gonna show you what happens. So if I remesh automatically, or like we can add a bit more information here. Let me show you. So if you remesh, you can see that's gonna mess everything up. So I'm keeping the eyes like this for now. Probably later I can remesh them differently. Yes, I'm in sculpting mode, you're right. The whole thing is being done in sculpting mode. Okay. So let's rotate this. Let me see if I have the rotation information of this one. So it's rotated on the Y by 16 degrees. I'm gonna copy this. We don't need the rotation on the Z at all. So if you rotate this, that's perfect. Then we need to rotate it again on the Y by 90 degrees. And we can move it backwards a bit like this, probably on the local Z. So double tap on the Z. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. So G on the Z. Oh, okay. That's okay. The thing is with Blender, we're all still beginners. Somehow it's a very hard tool to use. So let's call this. There are technical names for these. I don't know them, so I'm gonna call this eye black. So that's the black part of the eye. Shade auto smooth. Okay, I have a series where we did the generator. I explained a bit more about the basic stuff of Blender, like the UI and stuff like this. And when you told me Donut, I assumed that you're watching the Donut series, right? The one of I think he's called Andrew or Blender Guru, right? So pick. So I wanna do the black part, and then I wanna do the color part of the eye. So I pick first this point, then I pick the faces, or we can pick this vertex, then control click the face, then control plus to increase the selection. Let's make sure that we have the proper selection in the viewport. Control minus to reduce. So now I'm trying to select between how much we have the colored part and how much we have the black part. I think this is fine. Then you can control I to select inverse, then go to material. I'm gonna create a new material. I'm gonna call it colored eye. Let's go for something brown, then assign dark brown, of course. All right, I'm gonna move the cursor, Shift S, cursor toward origin. This looks the fakest thing ever. Let's make it smaller. Let's scale it on the Z, something like this. And then we can, I think the black is too much. Yeah, the donut tutorial are good. Everybody started with the donut tutorial. I'm gonna add more brown here. I'm not sure about the eyes. Let me mirror them first. I loved the addition yesterday and Creative Thread is amazing. Yeah, Yamraj, it is an amazing piece actually. It's too bad that Creative Threads isn't as active as it used to be. But I think Ethel, I forgot to turn on the stickers, just gave me the itch to restart it again. So Yamraj is my friend on Threads. I don't know if you have a Threads account. We're good friends over there. Scale. Let's scale this down. Probably up. Let's fix the black. It's looking a bit weird. Let's make it less of a black. Add a bit more reflection to it. And the eyes, let's go for something less saturated. Also a bit more reflection to it. Yeah, that's better. Again, let's just want to bring back the heart shapes we had for the face. I think in the 3.3 series you don't have it. It's probably in the 4 series of Blender, so you need to upgrade. And you can upgrade. Probably all your preferences and everything will be saved. So and you can also keep both versions. So you can upgrade without a lot of headache actually. I think I use array a lot and I use curve a lot as well. Array, I use it for stuff like this piece here in the generator. Let me show you. So you can see it is actually just one piece, but with the array you can copy it multiple times. So whenever you have stuff that you want to copy a lot, array is a good modifier. It's also good to rotate things around. So here, let me show you. I have some hidden stuff in here. I think the ACs. So to create something like this, where you have like this kind of fins rotated, array is also a good modifier. Now they are applied. And where did I use curve? I use curve for the wheels actually. So let me hide this guy. Let me go check the wheels. I need to find it. It should be somewhere here. Yeah. So array and curve is good for the wheels as well. Also, there is a good one which is called screw. So screw, you can create shapes that are circular. All right, I'm back here because these looks bad. I'm gonna pick one of these faces, Control Alt to select the rest. Then let's rotate it again on the Y. All right, first let's pick everything in here. And this, and let's isolate it. Just that I don't really like the eyes actually right now. Control L, I'm gonna rotate. So the rotation point isn't ideal now. Still, I'm gonna rotate. It's fine, actually. And I'm gonna move it a bit to the outside. Yeah, let's sculpt around it again. It's the best way to learn things, right? It always starts like just for exploration, and later on you'll either like figure out ways to do it more professionally, or you can just drop it and move on to something else. But you still know that you have this tool that you can use whenever you want. You can answer this later. Do you watch Ponchir weekly streams where they talk about their progress and No, not really. I don't watch his streams actually. I just watch some of his challenges videos, but I don't watch his streams. Maybe I should. I never seen them before actually. Is it on YouTube or on Twitch? So they discuss the progress of how the artists are doing with their monthly challenge. All right, that's it for now. I'm gonna start with the beards, with the hair, and with the mustache. But we're gonna probably finish this in the next stream. Yeah, Destiny, that's the way to do it actually. Just do whatever you want, explore it, and later on you can figure out what to use it for. This is how I did 3D. Actually, I started 3D like this, and for 15 years it's been like my profession, my career, the way that I make money. On YouTube, quite interesting, but by the way, you know what? I always felt that what the guys do there is too advanced for me. I don't know. I've been intimidated actually by it, but I should look at it because animation isn't my thing, and they do a lot of special effects as well, like dust and lighting. I've watched some guys like do videos about how they created their scenes for Punchir, and they're like, man, they're so advanced. They're really, really, really good. What is? I didn't really understand. I'm sorry. All right. Yeah, I don't know what what these are. I'm sorry. Probably because English isn't my main language, so I probably don't know what these are. Or it's a reference for something that I don't really know. All right. Let's do the start of the hair, and we're gonna stop streaming after it. So the things that we want to do right now is Shift A, create a curve, a Bezier curve. So Shift A, curve, a Bezier curve. Then we're gonna go to Edit, select everything, press X, and delete them. Then we're gonna go here to Draw. Here on this, pick surface, probably an offset of 0.01. Then what we can do is, let's check the offset didn't 0.01. We can draw some cards in here. What's happening? What are these? I think my blender is dying. Okay. Probably. I think this was a typo, right? It was supposed to mean by the way. This is what I understood. Okay, so what we want to do here is now we have this curve. For some reason, it's appearing on all the screen. I think this is just a bug. I'm gonna ignore it for now. We can go to bevel and the curve settings or the curve data. We can either just give it some thickness. So now let's delete this again. Let's go back to draw. We can just like draw like hair strands, which is not ideal. It looks super weird. And what we can do instead is go to, okay, we're gonna go to geometry nodes. We're gonna pick geometry nodes in here, draw a curve, remove this bevel, it's not looking good. Then we're gonna create a new geometry node. So what geometry node is this. So this is the geometry, which is the curve right now. And this is the output. And this is where it looks, how it looks on the model. Then what we want to do is there's a node called curve to mesh. So this is now a mesh curve. And then we can do something called curve line. Destiny, I don't really understand what's happening actually. I think Yamraj said he wrote BTS, but he meant BTW, which is by the way. I think it's a typo. So direction, make the length like 0.1. And I think the direction we can go for the Y. Or maybe the X, let's see. Yeah, so let's go for the X, the length, go for something small. And it doesn't really matter because what we can do now is go to edit mode, press the select, press Ctrl T, and now you can rotate these cards however you want. All right. Then we can pick them, G on the Y, and move them a bit. So what I want to do here is like create cards for the hair or for the beard. And we can control them here in the geometry node. We can control how thick they are. So mine is 0.01. And maybe here we can also Alt S control a bit the scale. But this is a manual job. It's not like automatic hair strands like we do with the geometry node hairs or like the particle system that Blender had. But I want to do this like this for now and see how it goes. So we're gonna go back to edit mode. We're gonna go to draw. I'm gonna try to draw as much strands as I can quickly for now. We need some sort of an offset. So 0.05 maybe. It's not working. Let's save. Let's go back to edit mode. Let's go back to draw. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm not sure why this is happening actually. Let's try again. Edit, draw. So this is fine. The rotation is not fine. Let's all right. So it's drawing to the inside actually. So what we want to do is go to select mode and Ctrl T to the outside. This usually takes a lot of time. I think I'm gonna figure out a better system of stream. I want to know what's happening with these points as well. And probably next stream we're gonna do the hair strands and we're gonna do the beard. Anyway, Yamraj, thank you for joining, man. Destiny, thank you so much for your support. I don't really understand what happened in the end, but that's fine. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna stop streaming for now, and probably tomorrow we're gonna continue. Thank you so much, guys.